All right, fun cat fight. And Reza Aslan again. All right, terrific. Taking on Bill O'Reilly. Now, interestingly, they've both written books about Jesus. Gee, I wonder which one is more based on facts. Now, Bill O'Reilly's book is called Killing Jesus. I mean, even the book, it's not like, Jesus of Nazareth, Prince of Peace, or Killing Jesus. It's got to have a nice violent title to it. And Reza Aslan's book is Zealot, The Life and Times of Jesus of Nazareth. So Reza Aslan was speaking at Los Angeles World Affairs Council in February, and he was asked about O'Reilly's book. Let's take a quick look.
I wondered if you read the other book about the historical Jesus, which is frequently touted as the #1 New York Times bestseller, and what you thought of it.
Which one are you doing?
O'Reilly's book,
Oh,
Killing
Bill O'Reilly's
Jesus.
book. Oh, right, Killing. Yes, Killing Jesus, which apparently is not a manual. I have not read Bill O'Reilly's book, so I can't really talk about it in any sort of intelligent way. I will say that probably the main difference between my book on Jesus and Bill O'Reilly's book on Jesus is that I wrote my book. You know what? Let me just say one very, very quick thing about this, because I have friends who've read it, and I've read reviews of it, and I understand basically he's turned Jesus into a member of the Tea Party, because it's all about taxes as far as he's concerned. That Jesus was upset about the high cost of taxes, which actually is true, and government interference, and that's why he rebelled, and that's why he was killed. That's fine. I will say this, though, is that what fascinates me is the way in which the political right in this country has absorbed Jesus, like made Jesus their own sort of icon. The Jesus of history is a Middle Eastern Jew who advocated free health care and fed the poor. That's the nightmare of Bill O'Reilly, okay? That's the about exact opposite of everything Bill O'Reilly thinks.
I love that point. And it's pretty much indisputable. I'll get into that in a second. Just let's note the two little jabs he threw in there. Killing Jesus, apparently not a manual, right? That was very clever. And then he said that he actually wrote his books. And I wanted to point that out because a lot of you might not know this. All these guys, celebrities, have ghostwriters, right? So Reza Aslan's a scholar, so he doesn't have a ghostwriter. He actually writes his books. But Bill O'Reilly just talks to some dude and he's like, this is what I think about Jesus, okay? Right? And the guy writes it down and then takes it and writes a whole book about it and then brings it back to Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly skims through and goes, yeah, that's kind of what I meant. Go ahead. And they put Bill O'Reilly in the title. Okay. Now, on to the main event, which is what was Jesus like? Look, let's keep it real. I actually don't agree with Bill O'Reilly or Reza Aslan because it's not either or. I mean, and to be fair to Reza, he didn't say either or. He said both are true in terms of the tax point and the taking care of the poor point. I don't think we should be guided by Jesus. I don't care what his positions were because some of his positions were terrific and some of them were, I bring the sword and the end times, we're going to kill you all, and then I'm going to come back and it's going to be a bloodbath. So it's wildly contradictory. Now, having said that, the principal focus, if you read the Bible in the New Testament, of Jesus' actual sermons were unquestionably help the poor, help the needy, help the sick, and to the point where he said a rich man has a lower chance of getting into heaven than a camel passing through the eye of a needle. So he couldn't have been more anti-rich. Jesus Christ would have made Karl Marx look like Gordon Gekko. Socialist and Marxist doesn't begin to describe Jesus Christ. He is so far left, he's indescribable in today's political context. So the idea that Jesus would be in favor of Republicans is the single most absurd idea you could possibly have. Read the Bible. Have you ever read it? So all these Republicans out there that think that they're good Christians, you're nothing of the sort. You're the exact opposite of what Jesus would have argued for. So read the Sermon on the Mount, read the New Testament, read the Bible, and you'll see that your hero, Jesus Christ, would have despised current day Republicans. You're the first people he would have grabbed by the ear and thrown out of the temple.